Welcome into Onorato and Bagnardi. Chris Onorato, Sean Bagnardi. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, coming at you live from Saratoga National at the plush Novice Clothing Company party, where Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker will be the guest of honor. What's up, Bags?
What's going on, man? Yeah, it is the biggest day of the year, really. You know, it's the day before Valentine's Day. But also, we got a football game to be played tonight. I'm excited about this one because with the playoffs we've had, right, especially the last 2 weekends leading up to this game, this is shaping up to be one of, it has to live up to the billing. It has to be one of the best games ever to live up to these playoffs. Right. But the matchup, you couldn't ask for a better one.
Yes, and that's the thing. We are either building up towards the great ending to what has been a terrific postseason, or a huge letdown because we've had great postseason games to this point. Now we've got the Super Bowl between the Bengals and the Rams. We'll give our picks. We'll have Harrison Butker on the show in this seat right here between me and Bags. The Chiefs championship kicker will be with us on the show on Onorato and Bagnardi. Plus some really special guests of honor. Will Brown, Patroons head coach, is in the house. Just saw him step in with his family. Dave Smith, the RPI hockey head coach, will be with us as well. We'll take you up to 6 o'clock. Then we'll get out of your way. We'll let you enjoy the game, and we're going to go do the same as well here at Saratoga National, brought to you by Novice Clothing Company. We are fired up for this one. We'll give our picks. You want to give them away now, or you want to wait?
No, I want to wait. Yeah, I want to wait. All I'm saying is
it's so worth it.
I'm predicting a close game, but I'm not going to tell you who's winning just yet.
Okay. All right. People are checking in. I love it. Sam's watching. What's up, Sam? The J-Man. Yeah, single screen. We're stepping up the game a little bit on Super Bowl Sunday.
Saratoga National. You think we were going to come here with our normal setup, me in sweatpants and a bad shirt? No. Tie and everything today.
The graphics still live, though, that's for sure. The number has moved to 4.
Yeah, I saw that.
Early in the week, it was 4.5, but then even dipped to 3.5. Remember, I kept going back and forth with you, like, well, if it goes to 3, I may not be. I'm going to stick with whatever my pick has been throughout the time here. Look, I picked the Rams before this season started. Now, that's not going out on a crazy limb. They made the blockbuster trade for Matthew Stafford, and here they are, including a deadline deal for someone like Von Miller, who's been a huge factor down the stretch of the season into the postseason for this Rams team. So my pride will most likely speak when I make my official prediction based on my preseason thoughts.
Yeah, you kind of just ruined that, but okay. So what are you most looking forward to about this matchup? What's the number one thing that stands out to you?
Rams pass rush, Bengals offensive line. Okay. That, I think, is going to be the biggest factor. And can Jalen Ramsey neutralize and maybe even shut down somebody like Jamar Chase? That, to me, those are the two things I'm watching, because how do you slow down this Bengals offense?
So for me, I step back and look at the bigger picture on what stands out for this one. And for me, there's no Tom Brady in this thing, right? There's no Aaron Rodgers in this thing. There's no Patrick Mahomes, but we've got Matthew Stafford, who's a guy who we know has been a really good quarterback for a long time. And it was always like, if they get the right team around this guy, what do you think he can do? And I think we've had that question answered this year. And then, of course, Joe Burrow on the other side, the young gun, the up-and-comer who is now not just the future, he is clearly the present in this league.
Yeah.
So that's an exciting matchup to me. And then, of course, too, just coming on the heels of what we've seen all playoffs, I'm just really excited about this match.
Hey, by the way, will this graphic still work? It does kind of a little bit. Look at that.
So it works.
Split screen, which, I wasn't going to go to it, but it's still effective. All right, Will Brown is here. We're going to bring him on the show. So let's take a quick time out here on Onorato and Bagnardi. But before we do that, Bags, already the comment of the day.
Yep,
here it is. Devon, Russia's about to invade Ukraine, but this is okay, too. Go Bengals, I guess.
Look, it would be just like us to ignore bigger things going around the world to focus on, ourselves and having a good time at Saratoga National football games.
Come on, let's watch some football. Let's forget about what's going on for the next 4 hours or so. Let's do that. Okay, when we come back on Onorato and Bagnardi, Patroons head coach Will Brown is going to join us, the middle seat right there. We're back right after this.
Happiness is found in simple things. The sun on your face, sharing laughs, at the campground, getting wet, relaxing together, the love of family. There's never been a better time to go outside and play. Alpenhaus Pool Spa Boat and RV. bringing families together and creating memories since 1964.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, Genair, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Bagnardi. Brought to you by Alpin House.
How'd you work that out? That has to piss Roger off.
It's a real coup. All right, we're back on Onorato and Bagnardi here, live from Saratoga National, and the head coach, Will Brown, is in the hot seat. Patroon season right around the corner, starts early March. We've got tickets to give away on this show as well. We'll do that throughout this segment. So you know how to comment along. If you're watching us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're watching us, just comment along. Say you want in on the Patroons, and we'll enter you into the random draw. It's good to see you, Will.
Good to see you guys. Appreciate you having me on here.
All right, let's talk about this Patroon season that's right around the corner. Is the roster complete?
No.
Okay.
Training camp starts on the 20th, and we'll have 16 to 17 guys invited to training camp. And then by midday on the 25th, we'll have our final roster set of 12.
What are you looking for as you watch guys try out, or you have training camp, if you will?
I'm looking for really good players because they'll make me look better as a coach. You know what I'm saying?
Smart.
So I need a lot of help in that regard. But you have to understand, all these guys are playing for a living, whether they want to play in the NBA, the G League, or over in Europe. So for me, I'm looking for guys that are going to work hard, that are talented, but also are concerned about the success of the Patroons. That's important as well. So it's not necessarily going to be the 12 most talented players. It's going to be the 12 that fit the best within the team concept.
So if it's not the 12 most talented, we got a shot, Bags.
Yeah, no, we don't. So, Coach, talk about some of the differences then in coaching in this style as opposed to coaching in the college game. Yeah. X's and O's are X's and O's, but what do you think will be the most different for you about what you do now?
The biggest adjustment for me is it's an NBA game. It's NBA rules. So especially on the defensive side of the ball, that's the biggest adjustment for me because there's a defensive 3 seconds, illegal defense. You always have to be within an arm length of the guy that you're defending. So, that's a little bit different. 48 minutes. So there's another 8 minutes in the game. And you guys watch the NBA.
Yep.
When they talk about the NBA, they always talk about the second unit. Right? You were lucky at the college level if you had a good starting 5. Well, I'm going to have 12 guys that have all played professionally, have been paid to play, all good enough to play and help us win games. How am I going to handle the substitutions, the second unit? My good friend, Coach Bassett, who was George Karl's assistant back in the day, has given me some guidance in that regard, but I've got to figure that out, and I've got to figure it out quickly. And in this league, as I've learned, there's not a whole lot of defense being played. So I think if we can play a little bit of defense and hold teams into the 90s, I think we'll have a chance to win an awful lot of games. Now, when I was coaching in college, we talked about holding teams into the 60s, and we'd be able to win a lot of games. Now I'm talking about holding teams to the 90s. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a learning experience for me, but a challenge that I'm looking forward to. I've got a really good staff in place, which I think is gonna help as well.
I was just going to ask you about that because you mentioned Donnie Bassett, but Bags, another qualification, no defense in this league. There's another window for us to get on the court. You have an all-star coaching staff below you. Here's my question. There are a lot of names that people know in the Capital Region. As a coach, I know a lot of people who would say, I don't want somebody who's maybe going to step on my authority as a head coach. Why bring in names that people know, people who obviously have great basketball minds, who might even from time to time challenge your thought?
Well, again, if they challenge me, I think that's a good thing. Even though I consider myself a veteran coach now, I still think everything's about growth and development, and every day is an opportunity to learn. So, before I accepted this job, I called Brian Bury up and I called Don Bassett up. I wanted to get the old gang back together. Most people know this, some don't. I got my start in the coaching profession at the College of St. Rose, working for Brian Beery. Don Bassett was Brian's assistant. We spent 3 years together. So I wanted to see if we can get the old gang back together, and without hesitation, they both said yes. Now, about them stepping on my toes, I will tell you this. On nights that we are struggling and struggling mightily, you might see me at the concession stand. We're serving beer, we're serving wine, and I'll let those two coach the second half or at least a quarter. But no, that's part of it. To surround myself with really good basketball minds was important to me. Again, I want to continue to evolve and grow and develop. And then someone like Julie McBride, who's a legend in this area. People say she's arguably the greatest female basketball player in this area. And I say she's arguably one of the best basketball players in this area, regardless male or female. And she had worked out my older son, Jackson, so I got a chance to know her. She had reached out to me. She had interest in certain jobs at the college level. And I said to her, listen, your playing resume is unmatched. You have to be prepared to answer an athletic director's question about your lack of coaching experience. So when I got the job with the Patroons, she reached out and she was interested in doing it. And she told me she's coaching AAU now, as you know, and she's got an AAU team that's going to travel all over the country. With that being said, she said, I can make 21 of the 25 games, and I can be at every practice. And I'm like, that's more than I expected. Yeah. And I'm excited. And I can't wait to see her challenge our players. These guys are going to look at her, how small she is with the funky hair. And then when they see the intensity and her knowledge, they're going to embrace everything that she's preaching and teaching. And then Mark Ribsick, who's married to Allie Jacks, the former Siena head women's coach. Mark is a former head coach at the Division II level, the junior college level, an assistant at the Division I and Division II level. Here's a guy that's battled cancer, beat cancer, and I'm excited that I can give him an opportunity to get back on the court. So it's a win-win for me, for the Patroons, and for this area. I really do think that this community is going to embrace the Patroons.
I got to ask you kind of a general coaching question. First, I'll tell you, I'm a big Brooklyn Nets fan. So
I feel for you.
I've got all kinds of drama always, constantly with these athletes and the egos. So in general, how do you deal with the ego of a good player who knows they're good and they're important to your team and you need them out there to have the best chance of winning, but who also can give you some issues in the locker room and off the court in general because of the attitude?
Well, I always think that really to be a really good player, you really have to understand the game. So I think when they look at coaches, the more they can trust you and the more they believe in your knowledge of the game, I think the more likelihood that they'll embrace what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Now, the one thing with the Patroons that I've learned, as the general manager, I have full control of basketball operations. So if we do have somebody that's negatively impacting the locker room or our team, guess what?
They're out.
I can waive them, and then I can add someone else. But that's the biggest challenge. We're going to have 12 really talented players that are not going to expect to sit on the end of the bench.
Right.
Now, how many am I going to play? No more than 10. I'd like to play less, but I'm probably going to have to play 10. So I think you have to get them to understand that regardless of how much you're playing, myself and the coaching staff are going to do whatever we can to help you now, but more importantly, into the future.
Right.
So regardless of your minutes or your stats, we're going to help you get a bigger and a better job, a better opportunity, wherever that might be. So if our team's having success, agents and general managers in Europe or the G League, they're going to look at it, hey, solid stats, playing decent minutes on a really good team. They're going to work with you. They might have an interest in you. So, we're going to work for our players, so we have to get them to understand that we're here for you. Practice is over at noon. During training camp, we'll spend another hour or two with you working on your game. We're going to help you grow and develop as a player, so it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a challenge, but we're going to make it work.
All right, last thing, Coach. And by the way, we've got the Patroon tickets to give away on the show. So if you want in on the Patroons this season, you know what to do. Just comment along on Facebook. Rams or Bengals tonight?
I'm going with Rams. Reason number one, my wife wants the Bengals.
Oh.
It's like when Duke plays Carolina.
Yes,
my wife wants Carolina. I want Duke. But in all seriousness, I look at somebody like Matthew Stafford, and he played for the Detroit Lions forever.
Yep.
So he deserves to win the Super Bowl just because of that alone. And then Joe Burrows is the new kid on the block. So let's let Matthew Stafford get this win. And that's a wrap.
Coach, you know tomorrow is Valentine's Day, right? You want to be careful heading into that big day.
No, as I've told my wife forever, every day in our house is Valentine's Day.
That's nice.
Every day is Valentine's Day. She's not buying it, but she did tell me, don't buy me a card, make me a card. So what did I do? I bought her a card.
You're right.
I bought her a card.
Yep.
I keep her on her toes.
Sure.
Yep.
I let my two boys make the Valentine
Nice.
Day cards. I'm going to throw it back at you two,
Yeah.
unless you're saving it for the end of the show. Who do you have in the Super Bowl?
Well, we'll talk about it throughout the show.
Yeah.
I picked the Rams at the beginning of the season, so my pride is sticking with the Rams as much as I think the Bengals have a good shot tonight. I'm sticking with LA.
I'm on the Rams, too. Do you think the Bengals cover the 4 points, though?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But I don't get caught up in the gambling. But if I did, I would bet my house on the Rams.
Okay.
So by 10 o'clock tonight, I might not have a house to live in. So hopefully this party's still going on.
And you bought the card. You didn't make it, so that's brutal.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm really doing well today.
And congratulations, Coach. We'll cut you loose here, but congrats on Jackson getting back closer to home to play his college hoops at Tulsa.
Again, mom's happy, and that's
Yep.
all that matters.
You know it, man. Hey, enjoy the night.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Head coach of the Patroons, Will Brown, with us here on Onorato and Bagnardi. We're back right after this.
If you're overweight, if you snore, don't wait for your next physical to find out you have sleep apnea. It could cost you your job. Call Dr. Frederick Dreyer at the Integrative Sleep Center for a game-changing alternative in sleep apnea treatment and get a good night's rest.
Teams, athletes, organizations. We're transforming the custom apparel industry through product and purpose. Claim your crown.
Wondering what to do now that your Philips CPAP was recalled? Dr. Frederick Dreyer has a safe and effective alternative treatment for sleep apnea. Just pop it in and get a good night's rest. Keep your quality of life. Call the Integrative Sleep Center today. We work with all insurances.
And now, back to Onorato and Bagnardi. Brought to you by Outfit House.
You know that movie.
So coach is saying, I don't know what to do with my hand. So that's why we gave you a mic. RPI hockey head coach Dave Smith with us now on Onorato and Bagnardi as we just continue to roll the guests of honor onto the show. Dave, it's good to see you, man.
It's great
It's been a little while.
I know. The season. I mean, everybody's busy.
You don't call anymore about dinner. You don't text.
You know what? I cut you out. I go right to Ashley.
He's a busy man. He's in season, and
Smart
you want
man.
him going out to dinner with you? Come on.
No. All right,
Yeah.
let's talk about this past weekend. Really nice win over Cornell. Ranked team comes into the Houston Fieldhouse, and you guys take care of business. Do you feel like you are at a point in this season, as it rapidly will come to a close, that you have the guys where you want them to be?
The answer is no. I don't. I really like our team on certain nights, and other nights we're just still working to find that magic chemistry. We lose the second night to Colgate. We play fine. We play hard. We have effort, but we're off a little bit.
Yep.
So we're still a work in progress. I believe we're still getting better at a time when a lot of teams aren't, and that can be a good thing. But with only 2 weeks left in the regular season, I wish I could answer that question a little differently.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Coach, you say that if it's a minor thing, it's almost easier to identify a major issue, I suppose. But if it's minor things like that you need to address to improve, what's sort of the best way to kind of go about that with the players? Is it a lot of, with film or, different things in practice? What's the strategy to improve the little details?
Well, the little details actually are those are one-on-one meetings. We're in the middle right now of so over a 2-week segment, we do something called 2-minute meetings, where the guys have to just find me, and it's not hide and seek, but they have to find me, and as we talk, and we cut out all the BS, and we say, hey, what's going on with school? What's going on in your life? What's going on with hockey? Anything we need to adjust. So those things help with the connection, help things happen. But we're doing video. We're trying. What's happening for us is if there's 5 things that we need to be attentive to win a game, tonight we'll have 4 and we'll win. The next night we have a different 3. And we just haven't hit on all cylinders all night, or every night. So we just need to continue to talk to our players, continue to listen to our players, and continue to build those connections. And hopefully when, the next weekend, the next opportunity, we're in sync.
I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I'll say it anyway. You guys started so much later than you're accustomed to starting. You didn't have the off season that you thought. You had a full missed season, basically off the ice for 2 years. It probably felt like for you guys. How long did it take to get into the season playing games where you thought, okay, now I feel like we've had the training camp, the off season that we're used to having, because you didn't have ice down at the Houston Fieldhouse for so long. You weren't able to practice as a full team because of COVID. Or do you feel like you'll never get that feeling this season?
There's a lot to that, to unpack that simple question. Try and keep it a simple answer.
Yeah.
I felt right out of the gate we were very good. We felt the effects of the year and time off more just before Christmas. We had some fatigue, and we really started to notice the lack of development from the guys that didn't play for the year. And the teams that had played were significantly ahead of us at that time.
Yep.
And what we also felt is we had some players transfer out because we didn't play. And to fill that void, we filled it with good people, good players, but they weren't the guys that had been trained with us. So then we add in an element of no fans in a place that rocks. The Fieldhouse rocks.
Yep.
And our record on the road is very good. Our record at home is just okay. And I know it hurts our guys, but we started the year and saying no excuses. I just made a few for us, but I guess coaches do that once in a while.
But that's life.
It is life. It's been, it's been terrific. I mean, we're 4 games left in our regular season, 2 at home, 2 on the road. We're battling to stay up in the standings. We were 5th. We fell to 6th this past weekend, which I think is great because we've got 4 teams ahead of us that 2 of them played, and Cornell and Harvard. Cornell was 1 in the country. We have found a way to stay at the top of that other pile.
Yep.
And I'm really proud of our effort, proud of the things that we've done, but we still got a 4-game grind left.
Have you been watching any of the Olympics, Coach? And what are your impressions of Team USA so far?
Men or women?
Well, I'll give you the choice.
Yeah. So I really I think the women's Olympic hockey in particular is a higher profile for me because it truly has the best of the best. Whereas the men's, I don't want to say it's a consolation prize because those guys are elite.
But no NHL.
But limited NHL players for sure.
Yeah.
So I've really enjoy best on best. And I think that the women's hockey has been outstanding to watch. I think it's nice to see that they've, gotten some publicity, and I know there's always a push for more, and it's not equitable, but I really like watching the hockey. I watched the USA-Germany men's game today. Yeah. So I think once we get to the preliminary playoffs here for the men's, my interest will come up a little bit. I love skeleton. I think it's great.
Head first, though.
Head first. And luge is cool. Skeleton's nuts.
Yeah. So we were asking, 2-man luge, would you rather be on the top or the bottom?
It's a personal question.
Yeah, forget that. You don't have to answer that.
Okay. Other than hockey, now this is unfair because you're obviously great on a pair of skates. But other than hockey, what is the one Olympic event you feel like you could be best at?
Well, it's another event that I grew up playing a little bit, but curling.
Did you play curling?
We curl at home. And in our small hometown, 1,200 people, we had a curling rink and an ice rink. And in our backyard, we used to fill up either Cool Whip or margarine dishes. We'd fill those up with water, We'd put in
Those would be the rocks.
We would put in red food coloring in one, blue in the other, and then we would have some rocks. So we used to curl in our backyard rink. Now it was different because the rink was on a bit of a slant, so you had to really know the home course.
So are they Olympic athletes? Is it athletes? Is it a game they're playing, or is that really a sport?
I much like I do, and this is often over a golf course round or a drink. I say, let's put an amateur in there and see how they do.
Yeah,
and I think curling, they would embarrass you. They would absolutely embarrass you. Athlete and sport we can all define it differently, but they are elite. I love that they went to the co-ed. The co-ed teams. I think that's really interesting because it's just sliding a 25-pound rock. And the women are dynamite at it. And I really think the world of those athletes.
Yeah, those rocks are a lot heavier than you think. When you see them on TV,
Chris, do you think I just threw out 25 pounds? Like, I didn't make it up. They're 25 pounds, friend. I'm pretty sure.
Those TV cameras are 30 pounds. All right, Bengals or Rams tonight?
Well,
now, and you are an American football fan, though. I know you're a big Bills fan from the time you spent at Canisius.
And I even as early as this morning, somebody said, who do you want to win the Super Bowl? I answered with Bills. So I am a big Bills fan. But I also spent a lot of time in Ohio. I went to Ohio State.
Right.
I played pro in Dayton. I played pro in Fort Wayne. I played pro in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is nearby. I coached at Miami. I coached at Bowling Green. So a lot of ties. And I love that both teams have a great story. Matt Stafford, to me, is a great story.
Yep.
Aaron Donald is a great story. I like the Joe Burrow story, not necessarily the cigars and Broadway Joe, as much as I like the championship Joe. His record in the big games. I'm going to say Cincinnati with my heart, but I do believe that the veteran presence and the desire to win that Super Bowl, those experienced guys, I think that might get them through.
Well, how about another championship you might focus on? Who do you like in the Stanley Cup this year?
A lot of hockey left there. I mean, Tampa's really good. Colorado's really good. Those two teams would be probably 1 and 2, and I think there's always a surprise team like the Canadians were last year, but we won't be the Canadians this year.
We won't be the Canadians.
Maybe the Rangers?
Even the Canadians are worse than my Devils. That's hard to do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, maybe the Rangers. I mean,
Maybe.
There's a maybe there.
Yeah, the Rangers are a good team.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, go enjoy the party. We've taken up a lot of your time. I know you're partnered up with Novice as well, and as you know, Garrett and Nick do great work, and we're proud to be here. Thanks for spending a little bit of time.
Well, I do. I think Novice is the reason that, you connected us with Novice. Novice has done some great things, and I love those guys. They're sports fans, and what a great venue, what a great event.
Yep.
And I love what you guys are doing. Every chance I can, I get on, and I love the diversity of the sport from wrestling to football to hockey. And I think the world of what you guys are doing and love tuning in. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, buddy.
For having me.
Enjoy the night. Head coach Dave Smith, the RPI men's hockey program, with us here on Onorato and Bagnardi. We're coming back right after this.
Golf season is here. Get free golf at the Empire Golf Expo, February 26th and 27th at the Albany Capitol Center. Over 20 free rounds of golf with every ticket. Discounted apparel and equipment. Meet CBS Sports announcer Donnie Pepper. Resale tickets at EmpireGolfExpo.com.
Happiness is found in simple things. The sun on your face, sharing laughs, at the campground, getting wet, relaxing together, the love of family. There's never been a better time to go outside and play. Alpenhaus Pool Spa Boat and RV, bringing families together and creating memories since 1964.
And now, back to Onorato and Bagnardi. Brought to you by Alpenhaus.
All right, we're back on Onorato and Bagnardi. Chris Onorato, Sean Bagnardi, live from Saratoga National Golf Club. Speaking of golf, never too early to talk to you about the Golf Expo that's coming to the Albany Capitol Center end of the month. You just saw the spot run here in that commercial break, and we'll have Dottie Pepper as a guest of the show coming up in a little bit. All right, we've got some people who are telling me they want the Patroons tickets. Still an opportunity to get in on the Patroons tickets. We've got a few pairs of those available for you. So if you want in, all you have to do is comment on Facebook that you would like the tickets. We'll enter you into one of those random drawings, and we are waiting for the guest of honor.
Oh, yeah.
And that is Harrison Butker, Chiefs Super Bowl champion kicker Harrison Butker, courtesy of the guys at Novice Clothing Company, Nick and Garrett Bernardo, and the great work that those guys do. They made our swag, and we're giving some of that away tonight as well.
Yeah, I'm
some
surprised.
raffle items.
I mean, that's too high quality stuff. You don't be giving any of that away.
No.
I'm excited to have Butker on, man, to get a chance to talk to a Super Bowl champion, right? And to ask them really what that's like.
Yeah.
You know, to hold up that trophy, be a part of it. And, of course, to be a major player. I mean, a field goal kicker, people will sometimes say, well, you know, it's not at a skill position or whatever. That is one of the most important positions on a football team. And, of course, he made some huge kicks for them along the way on their run to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So, and he is really one of the top field goal kickers in all of the National Football League. So it'd be a great honor to have him on and chat with him a little bit.
Yeah, he's as clutch as it gets. All right, Rams and Bengals, we're taking you up until 6 o'clock on the News Channel 13 Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. The number is 4.
Yeah.
Does that change your thinking at all in terms of who you are choosing to cover the spread in this one? I mean, it opened it at 3.5, and it moved to 4.5, and it vacillated a little bit back and forth, but it's sitting pretty steady at 4 at this point.
Easy. Easy on the big words. Caesar Onorato, but it vacillated. It changed. That's what he meant.
Back and forth.
Back and forth. Yeah. No, it doesn't change it because I had this being as close as a 3-point game from the beginning.
Right.
I'm taking the Rams by a field goal tonight. So when I see it move to 4 points in particular, my money is more on the Bengals. If I'm going to put anything down here because of how close I think the game will be, and would anybody be shocked tomorrow morning if we woke up and the Bengals are the champions? Absolutely not.
No.
For as much as you might like the Rams or even have them favored, nobody's going to be shocked. I mean, this is a very, very good Cincinnati Bengals team. So, no, I would say right now, you got to put money down this game. I would bet it on Cincinnati.
Okay. All right. Ashley's messing up our camera shot there. You got the bar going right through your face as she's mingling with people and saying hello. I mean, my goodness, you thought you could get an hour commitment out of somebody for work.
Trying to make a really important point, a big point, and all of a sudden, that's what he gets. Well,
I'm going to clip that one for sure. All right, you asked me what's a difference maker, and I said the Rams pass rush, the Bengals offensive line.
Yeah.
Difference for you in this game is what?
That's probably where. Okay, I think the biggest difference for me is, yes, if you're going to look at which part of which offense lines up against which part of which defense, that's the answer, right? But I think for me, it's going to be what quarterback really answers the call in a big spot. Because
who do you trust more? Stafford or Burrow?
I trust Stafford more, and I like the Rams' defense more. So you're going to add those two things together, right?
Yep.
But again, I like Burrow to keep it close enough. This is going to be a close game. And what we know about the Super Bowl, too, how many times have we seen it? The difference of one play, the difference of one special teams play, and all of a sudden you can look up and there's a funky score up there that you're checking your squares going, oh, do I have a 4? Do I have a 9, right? So the difference in these games is so small. But for me, it's going to be about what quarterback steps up the biggest in this big spot, and I like Stafford a little bit more, especially going against what I think is a little bit easier of a defense than Burrow's going to be staring at across from him.
Yep, there's no doubt about that.
The defense got to step up too.
All right, Josh wants tickets to the Patroons, and he's entered into the running, but he also says he's bet $5,000 on the Rams minus 3.5. Now, if Josh is dropping $5 large on a bet, Caesar's app or wherever, he could probably buy season tickets to the Patroons, but he's in the running for the free tickets anyway.
Good.
You're in for it anyway, Josh, all right? And look, I mean, I'll be rooting for your bet to hit too, because I've been on the Rams from the beginning of the season. Now, granted, I had them beating the Browns in the Super Bowl. It's a different AFC North team, at least, that they match up with, but I'm in for this being a huge game, man. I think it's going to be close all the way. And as we talk with Butker in a little bit, I think the field goal kickers will loom large tonight. Evan McPherson's phenomenal for Cincinnati. So if we're gonna, hey, Matt Gay or Evan McPherson, as good as Gay has been this year, give me McPherson. That guy has the same bravado as his quarterback, Joe Burrow, but he's a kicker. So nobody really pays attention to it until the biggest moments. And he's had 2 huge moments in this postseason with kicking game-winning field goals.
I'll say this about the point spread, though, okay? If we wake up tomorrow and you tell me the game's a blowout,
yeah,
I'm going to lean on the Rams. So that being said, right, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised either way. It's just too close. It's been too close and too crazy all postseason. If anybody's going to be shocked by what happens tonight, then you just haven't been paying attention.
Correct.
The only thing that would maybe surprise me a little is if the Bengals just came out and just wiped the floor with the Rams. That would be the only thing.
If the Bengals won by 2 scores, I would say I'm surprised.
Yeah.
For as good as Cincinnati's been, and for as much as they've surprised people, I would say if they win by 10 or 14, I'm going to be a little surprised. If you have predictions you want to weigh in as you're watching along here, we'll absolutely take it. Sam is asking, am I staying for the entire – am I staying up for the entire game? I'll be awake for the entire game. I may not be here for the entire game.
Make sure I'll buy him another drink. He'll be here. All right, let me ask you this. We see oftentimes in Super Bowls, the best quarterback or the quarterback on the winning team winds up being MVP. No quarterback can be the MVP of the game.
Aaron Donald. He's my pick regardless of what qualification you want to throw out there. I think Aaron Donald, multiple sacks tonight, quarterback pressures that maybe force some turnovers. I think he's in the backfield a lot tonight. Aaron Donald is my MVP no matter what.
Well, if we see Jalen Ramsey a lot on Chase, do you feel like he's an interception or 2 away from getting into the –
He'd have to have 2 interceptions. That's too difficult.
What about a pick 6?
That could change some things.
Yeah.
That could change some
Defensive
things.
Scores always make things really interesting, too. And I think the Rams are more likely to score on defense. Right? So that's another area where maybe they get to be the favorites in this game. But
how about you, MVP that isn't a quarterback? Or Yeah,
I think because in order for the Bengals to win, well,
you think he's got to have a monster game?
I think he'd have to have a big game. And I just think it's more about Stafford's going to spread it out a little bit more, get other guys involved. You see OBJ get in there, right?
Yep.
Whereas I think with Cincinnati, Chase could really – in other words, I think if the Rams win the game, then Stafford is most definitely going to be the MVP for me. And if the Bengals win it and it's not Burrow, it's probably going to be because you got Chase involved a lot. I would default to him.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of this. I'm doing a lot of the Italian. I think it's because I'm holding the mic.
And there's space to fill.
Right.
So you've got reach room.
By the way, that's a 13 there. News Channel 13. Get the chair out there. Yeah. Close enough. We could have put that on the chair. That might have helped. But it's all right. Are you going to show our graphics? Do you have those?
Yeah, you want the pics? Ash is all over it.
There it is.
And maybe a shot of the people as they're coming in. I mean, everybody is now
you want to
here.
You want to mess with this Mevo camera right before we get Harrison on?
Yeah, probably not. But here's a better look at the scene at Saratoga National. This is just the foyer or foyer, as some may say. People have definitely filled the bar and the dining room, which is where we'll be hanging out tonight watching the games. But it's a great atmosphere. The novice guys don't know how to do it if it isn't big.
No. Everything they do is throwing a party. So the easy thing is to throw a party. That just comes so naturally for them.
Yeah.
They do got to get them. We got to get 4 on this banner too, because that's of course the home of Onorato and Bagnardi.
That's true. Saturday nights at 6:30, sometimes 6, depends on the Firewolves.
7, 8,
watch us here. Okay, find us on social media. That's the place to find us. Harrison Butker is making his way in here shortly. We will bring him on in a moment. Do you want to talk about where your nets are currently? If you want to do that, give me a second. We take a commercial break here.
Sure.
We could talk about what we saw at the NBA trade deadline. Doesn't have to be all Super Bowl talk.
No.
And if you want our input on war negotiations, I think that might be on the table here before 6 o'clock as well. You're watching Onorato and Bagnardi on the News Channel 13 Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages. We're back right after this, live from Saratoga National.
Happiness is found in simple things. The sun on your face, sharing laughs, at the campground, getting wet, relaxing together, the love of family. There's never been a better time to go outside and play. Alpenhaus Pool Spa Boat and RV, bringing families together and creating memories since 1964.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, JennAir, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Bagnardi. Brought to you by Alpin House.
We're back on Onorato and Bagnardi live from Saratoga National. I'm seeing Rick Bernardo. I'm seeing Jimmy Hart from the City Rocks.
Sure.
I saw Rennie LaRue in the house. We already talked with Dave Smith and Will Brown from the RPI men's hockey team and the Albany Patroons.
We got a father wearing a collar, a priest. It's a who's who. It's like a Where's Waldo in here of everybody.
We could all use a blessing or two right now, huh?
After our bets come through or don't come through, I might be making a few confessionals today.
This is who we're waiting on, everybody. Harrison Butker from the Kansas City Chiefs, due to arrive any moment. That was the schedule of events. We are here up until 6 o'clock on the News Channel 13 Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages. Brought to you by Novice Clothing Company, Integrative Sleep Center, Popeyes, Pick 6 Vodka, Marcella's Appliance Center, and our title sponsor all show long. And from the very start, the great people, Andy Heck, Katie Osborne at Alpin House in Amsterdam and Clifton Park. Our thanks to all of our sponsors here throughout the year on Onorato and Bagnardi. This is going to be fun tonight, Bags. The thing I always worry about something like this is, am I going to get to really watch the game?
Yes.
Can I lock in and watch the game?
I think so. You have to. I mean, you're very popular. People will come up to you.
It's going to be a Super Bowl champion here. Anybody wants to talk to me? No, Dave Smith is here. Will Brown is here.
Exactly. That helps. And the other thing is the Super Bowl's on. So people should be paying attention to that. I'm not talking to you or anybody else.
Yeah.
Once kickoff goes, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I think Harrison wants to watch the game, doesn't he?
You know what? I'm interested to ask him, when you're not in it, how much do you really care about it?
It's the Super Bowl.
It's
this. I mean, at least watch the commercials, Harrison. My goodness. All right, so you're going to ask me about the Nets. Why don't you go ahead and do that quick?
Okay. So, well, people are asking here on the show, you know, how's Sean doing with the Nets? A word or two maybe now that James Harden has been traded. How many games in a row have you guys lost?
11.
Yeah. And Ben Simmons will get on the court when?
Don't know. Drummond and Curry are supposed to play Monday, tomorrow, it sounds like. Simmons, I think they're still evaluating, ramping him up, get him on the court within, hopefully, I would say probably after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
After that. We're just a week away. A week from tonight will be the All-Star.
Is there any way that this trade causes a little more cohesion with your team than what we previously saw?
It's a definite possibility.
Look, Harden clearly was miffed at the fact that Kyrie was not going to get vaccinated and wasn't going to commit to the team.
Really? Right. And then he leaves under these circumstances, and then it's like, well, he's the guy who wasn't committed. Which I get it, because we've seen this in the past from James Harden, where it's like, I want out, get me out. This one, though, I'm giving Harden a little bit of a pass on, honestly, because, like I said, he came here, he wasn't in shape. He got himself in better shape, played pretty well for Brooklyn. Seemed like he was more in than Kyrie, and that bothered him. That upset him, and he decided he wanted out. There has to be something there with Durant, too, though, because I got the impression they were such good friends. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it came down to Durant just like maybe Harden said, like, pick your guy here, and he didn't pick him. I mean, I don't know. That's all speculation, obviously, but all I'm saying is if Kevin Durant wants James Harden there, I feel like he's still there because everything Durant wants, his team's going to do. He's Kevin Durant.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant would have to convince James Harden that, no, listen, it's going to be different as we move along. I think Harden was probably like, listen, I tried this for not even a year, right?
Well, and the Nets are certainly sitting there saying, if we don't move in now and he's going to walk.
Yes, I get that.
What a disaster to not get any. We're really all in this season, which is already a big question mark.
Yep.
So from that perspective, it made sense for Brooklyn. I still think they had a higher percentage chance to win with the big three all healthy and ready to go. But with this trade, not only do you look at this season more, it fills a lot of holes for them that they had. I mean, they had issues with offensive rebounding, right? Defensive rebounding. Drummond will do that. You need another shooter, especially with Joe Harrison. Seth Curry can be that guy. So overall, I think it's not the worst thing in the world.
All right, Harrison's here.
He's here.
So you shut up.
I'm done.
And we're going to bring the Super Bowl champion kicker on. We're back right after this on Onorato and Bagnardi with the guest of honor tonight, Harrison Butker. Hang on.
If you're overweight, if you snore, don't wait for your next physical to find out you have sleep apnea. It could cost you your job. Call Dr. Frederick Dreyer at the Integrative Sleep Center for a game-changing alternative in sleep apnea treatment and get a good night's rest.
Teams, athletes, organizations. We're transforming the custom apparel industry through products and purpose. Claim your crown.
Wondering what to do now that your Philips CPAP was recalled? Dr. Frederick Dreyer has a safe and effective alternative treatment for sleep apnea. Just pop it in and get a good night's rest. Keep your quality of life. Call the Integrative Sleep Center today. We work with all insurances.
And now, back to Onorato and Bagnardi. Brought to you by Alpin House.
We're back live at Saratoga National. Chris Onorato, Sean Bagnardi, and the champ is here, Harrison Butker from the Kansas City Chiefs, as clutch as it comes in the NFL these days in the kicking game. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, glad to be here.
It's good to meet you. It's good to see you. Hell of a party you throw.
Man, this was all the Bernardo brothers. They did a great job. I'm pumped to be here, pumped to see the headquarters and see everybody that's kind of involved in the operation.
Yeah, cool. Well, as you know, we're partnered up with Novice. Nick and Garrett design the stuff that we do for the show, and we're so psyched to be part of what they're doing. Big things, including you and a lot of other pro athletes they're connecting with. Let's just ask you, when you're not in the Super Bowl, do you care about the Super Bowl?
It's tough. You know, in 2018, we lost to the Patriots. I did not care at all when they were playing the Rams, actually, in my hometown of Atlanta. This year, I am kind of a Joe Burrow fan. You know, I respect him. He is Joe Cool. And I'm a huge fan of Evan McPherson. You know, he had a great game against us, both in the playoffs and regular season. So I do like the Bengals a lot, but also Matthew Stafford's a great quarterback. He's been at Detroit for the majority of his career. I'd be really happy for him to finally get a Super Bowl. So I'll be happy if either team wins.
So you can provide us with some really unique insight here of what these guys right now in Los Angeles are feeling. They're taking the field, many of them in their first Super Bowl, and an hour now can go off.
As much as you want to treat it like any other game, it's definitely not. I think it almost doesn't even feel like a football game. You're looking around, you see David Beckham, Jay-Z, Beyonce. It's a little different feel from your normal regular season or even playoff game. But usually once the game starts, you kind of lock in. It feels like any other game. But, you know, it's a Super Bowl. You don't know when you're going to be back. Every play matters. For me as a kicker, I just treat every kick like a big kick. Try not to focus on anything else. Just focus on what I can control. And I think if everybody does that, they'll play their best game.
All right, how do you block out the nerves and emotion that go along with a game-winning kick? Now, look, if the game's tied, maybe you don't feel as much pressure. I don't know, maybe you do. But when you're down and you've made these kicks to win games when your team is down to win a game, we hear all the talk about Evan McPherson saying, well, I guess we're going to the AFC Championship game. And then, like, I guess we're going to the Super Bowl. But how do you lock in and not let that rattle you? Because literally, like, any misstep, and some of the operation isn't solely on you, the snap and the hold and all that, but how do you block all that stuff out and make it routine?
I think it starts with the preparation. So the bigger the game, the bigger preparation you should probably have going into that game. So every game I just expect, 10 field goals in the game-winning kick, because I'm probably not going to get that. And if it's anything less, then that'll be great, and I'll be ready for it. So if you are in a tight game and it's fourth quarter, you're sitting on the bench and you realize it's probably going to come down to me, I think sometimes I just try to relax, try to get my mind off of football for a little bit, and then I know I'm going to have to lock in for probably 10, 20 minutes, however long it takes for that final drive, whatever it may be. That's when I'm going to be completely locked in. Nothing else coming into my head, and I'm just focused on what I can control to make that kick.
So some team tonight, a group of very happy guys, are going to hold the Lombardi Trophy. It's something you know about, getting a Super Bowl ring. How can you even put that into words? I'm going to ask you to try to what that feels like.
I mean, playing college football, I didn't really start thinking about the NFL to maybe my senior season, and then you're thinking about it, and you're like, I don't know if I'm good enough. You go to the NFL Combine, you kind of establish yourself, but it wasn't until you play in a couple games and you're like, okay, I kind of belong. But then you add on now, there's 32 teams that are all professionals, all very good teams. It's very tight. To get to the Super Bowl and then to win it, you just got to appreciate the moment. You know, it's a blessing, and you definitely got to appreciate it because you don't know when it's going to happen again. But to be one of those 32 teams, to host the Lombardi Trophy and be a Super Bowl champion, you'll never forget it. And, of course, you get that beautiful ring.
Where is the ring? You don't bring it with you.
I don't want to talk about it. Left it at home.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought he lost it or something like that. I know you got a big design session at Novice headquarters tomorrow. What do you think of the gear that these guys have put together for you so far? A couple of runs already with the Butker store. How much of the process do you love being part of it?
I've been super impressed with them, and I'm definitely looking forward to being a little bit more involved by coming up here and talking with them. But they're the clothes that they've been able to provide have been amazing. They've been unlike anything else, very innovative, different pieces that I've loved, guys on the teams that have loved, and obviously the fans have loved to wear. And there's tons of people here that appreciate the hard work that they put into their craft, and that's kind of what we're celebrating tonight.
And we heard Tyreek Hill say, "That go hard," talking about the gear. That's high praise. I got the double sevens hoodie.
Oh yeah,
and you got a butt kicker.
Butt kicker. Yep. So I want to ask you about your team, in particular your quarterback Patrick Mahomes. He's become really one of the faces of the NFL. What's it like playing with him, being around him, and the rest of your teammates?
Man, I can't say enough about the ability that Patrick has. I remember my first season there, it just looked like, I guess my first season was 2017. That was Alex Smith. And then we had that first training camp going into 2018. It just looked like he was a kid playing in his backyard, able to throw whatever throw he needed to. And then, so he knew he had the talent, but then when he got to those big moments and was able to deliver, that's when you knew he kind of had that clutch gene, whatever you call it. Just a great competitor, great leader for the team. And I'm blessed to have a quarterback like Patrick. He's a great guy, and hopefully we have many more seasons of success.
All right, we're going to let you go. Can you make a pick? Are you allowed to make a pick? How does this work? What's the fraternity of NFL players allow?
I'm going to go the Rams. I'll take the Rams by 3, actually.
Okay.
Game-winning kick from Matt Gay?
Let's do that. Matt Gay, he needs some attention.
Before you go, I'm going to ask you to make one kick for us. All
right.
I'll take the mic from you.
I got a field goal.
You got the uprights?
I got the uprights. I got to go get him back here.
How long of a field goal is this?
This is a chip shot field goal.
Oh, wow.
This is a chip shot.
Oh, nice.
This is a chip shot. You can flip it off the table.
Am I going off the table? Yeah. You might need to bend down a little bit more.
There we go.
Okay, I'm going right here. Oh, wow, that is.
Hit him in the face.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to go down a little bit.
Down the knees.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
That clipped the upright and it went through. That was
clutch. To get one kick to win it all on Super Bowl Sunday.
That was clutch. That was clutch.
A lot of practice went into that. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, Harrison, thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate
Great
it.
to meet you. Have fun tonight. Thanks for having a little bit of fun with us two idiots here in Albany on Onorato and Bagnardi. Go enjoy the night, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Appreciate it.
Harrison Butker with us here on Onorato and Bagnardi. All right, we're going to come back and we'll wrap things up here from Saratoga National right after this.
Golf season is here. Get free golf at the Empire Golf Expo, February 26th and 27th at the Albany Capitol Center. Over 20 free rounds of golf with every ticket. Discounted apparel and equipment. Meet CBS Sports announcer Donnie Pepper. Resale tickets at EmpireGolfExpo.com.
Happiness is found in simple things. The sun on your face, sharing laughs, at the campground, getting wet, relaxing together, the love of family. There's never been a better time to go outside and play. Alpenhaus Pool Spa Boat and RV, bringing families together and creating memories since 1964.
And now, back to Onorato and Bagnardi. Brought to you by Alpenhaus.
All right, Bags. We're back at Saratoga National. A couple of minutes to go here on the show. Sean's fixing his hair after the field goal attempt.
Good hair, by the way.
And here it is. I mean, the winning kick with this piece of paper. You're talking about Harrison's hair.
Yeah, very
Strong.
good hair.
Strong.
Very good hair game. Good-looking guy.
Yep.
And, I mean, I might get him to sign that. Might have to.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I hope he says no. All right, here are our picks.
I'm going to offer him the uprights, by the way. But, hey,
sign the upright.
You want to take the uprights? He's going to be like, no, I'm good.
Have him sign the uprights.
Yeah, I should. I will.
All right, our picks. We both like the Rams.
Yep.
We both like them to cover, although mine would be a push. Oh,
Yours
actually,
would be
no.
a
I'm
push.
sorry. You like Cincy to cover. I'm sorry.
I
We
do.
both like the over, but here they are. We're both on the Rams tonight. We're both on the over of 48.5, and I picked against the Bengals the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
And they've proven me wrong. So guess what? Third time the charm, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, listen, I like where we have these scores. I like the over for sure. Just being as close as this is going to be. Look, if it delivers on either one of these scores, we've had a game worthy of the hype, and I hope that's what we get tonight, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, this has been fun. What do you say we
Let's go eat. I'm
we get
hungry.
with the people?
Yeah, we'll mingle. Then we'll eat and watch some football.
Get a little something to eat, a little something to drink, watch a little bit of football, and we'll cut our significant others loose from putting in an hour's worth of work here as well, when they could really just be having a good time. All right, Rams, Bengals, everybody enjoy the Super Bowl on News Channel 13. We're back on Thursday, our normal spot with Onorato and Bagnardi,
1 o'clock this
1
week.
p.m. Bags' schedule conflict. Very important person at the building. Yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your Super Bowl Sunday with us on Onorato and Bagnardi, live from Saratoga National, where we've had the pleasure of talking with Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker. We'll see you Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock.